Okay, guys, today our topic is the SEC filings. What are SEC filings? Which ones are the most important that we look into before getting into a swing, and how to read SEC filings. So, basically, first of all, there are four types of SEC filings that are important. There is a Form 4. What is the Form 4? The Form 4 in SEC filings basically tells us about the insider buying or selling, and that is one of the main factors to determine what the insiders view about their own company, especially if the CEO, which is basically the owner of the company, doesn't buy enough shares. Basically, he would be a jerk if he is not buying enough shares, or there's something going on into the company. That's why he is not buying more shares of the company itself. So, Form 4 tells us about the insider buying or insider selling. Furthermore, it also tells us that who are the main owners of the company. The Form 8K is the unscheduled of material events. Like, for example, if the company is going to release any news, so they release it in the form of Form 8K. It also tells us sometimes about the changes in controlling ownership, the bankruptcy, and other important events such as which owner has changed their percentage stakeholder and stuff like that. What is Schedule 13D? Schedule 13D, also known as SC 13D, basically it tells us that who owns the most shares in the company and what changes have been made in the institutional shareholders or in the insider shareholders of the company, and it needs to be filed within 10 days of any new 5% stakeholder. The most important that we need to look into is the 10K report, which is basically a prospectus of the company. It also includes the annual financials of the company. It is 10K is the yearly report and 10Q is the quarterly report. They both basically serve the same purposes. So the prospectus helps us determine what the company business and goals are going to be and what different catalysts there. Sometimes to find catalysts I go and look into the 10K reports and stuff like that to get into details. So it's basically very simpler. I will go through how I will go through each of the SEC filings, the Form 4, Form 8, SC 13D and 10K report. But first we need to understand what we need to look into the 10K report, since it is the most important one. So how to read a 10K report? So all 10K forms follow the same standard format. This makes it easier to compare one to another. Basically 10K formats are same for every other company that is out there listed in the stock market. They all have the same pattern and they all have the same prospectus, same content and everything. So once you know how to read these, then it would just be a piece of cake to navigate through all other 10K or 10Q forms, since 10K and 10Q forms are both the same thing. So what we need to look into is the part 1, which have the business details, that what is the company about, what the company is doing, what the company have, what is the moat of the company, what are the competitive advantages. And item 1A, that is the sub item of part 1, which says which is the risk factors. Basically why this is important. Risk factors is important because the company lawyers and the company legal holders list these factors, because this will help us recognize that where the company stands and what are the risk factors for the company. That will help us better evaluate the company fundamentals and what upcoming risks that they are taking, or what upcoming situations will be more likely have a negative or a positive effect for the company. After that we straight goes to the part 2, in which we have the item 6, and that have the details of the revenue, overhead, net profit. Basically the earnings report is listed in the item 6. So that is the most important 3 things that we need to look into a 10K, and that tells us everything almost. We don't have to get into every other thing. So that's the whole overview of how to read SEC filings. Now I will go through each of the type of the SEC filings. First the Form 4, and then Form 8, then Schedule 13D and the 10K report. So what we have to do to just go to the SEC filings, we have to go to this website sec.gov, sec.gov, and if we open this, a page will open where on the top right we have to search for the company. It's very simple. We can search any ticker. For example, we have the ticker COCP. So once we write that, we have two options: search for copy in Edgar filings and just the company name itself. You have to click this over here, and this will lead you to a page where all the latest filings and everything is listed. So there are two ways to navigate the page. What we can do is we can just click on these 8K reports, 10K reports, proxy, annual meeting, and ownership disclosures, which will be the insider transactions. Or you can just click on the view filings, and then you can just, for the insider transactions, so here I can filter out only insider transactions. So here all type of forms listed with the latest report date will come. So this is a form type 4, a statement of changes in beneficial ownership of securities. It was dated on 2020-06-24, and the last one was an form type 5, annual statement changes in beneficial ownership of securities, and this was released on 2021-02-12. This one is the latest one. So we will open both of them and we will see what's going on with the insider tradings of the company. So this is basically an insider form where you can understand how to read this. So what's important is that we can see the name, who is the person or who have bought the shares or sold the shares. Lee Sam, we can see this over here. Lee Sam is the name of the person, and he is not the director. He is an officer, and he is basically the president. What else do we need to see? Nothing else is very important. This is not important for us. What important is for we go to see transaction code. Transaction code is basically 4A, and A stands for acquired. A stands for acquired, where D stands for disposed. So by A means the shares have been acquired, and by D means the shares have been disposed. So if you can see the number of derivative securities acquired or disposed, 50,000 shares were acquired on the month of February, and it was dated on this 11/24. The expiration date is 11/24/2030. Basically it's not these stocks, it's I think one of the calls related to options, and that's the gist of it. So basically you have to see what code it is. A stands for acquisition, D stands for disposed. Then there are furthermore codes like P and F. If you have to look, you can go Google those things up to see more ones. Here on form 4, here we can see that the insider trading, almost 100,000 shares have been bought, and they have been acquired on the date of 6/22/2020. Like that's January, February, March, April, August 22, 2020. So yeah, that's how to read. Again, Lee Sam bought these shares. He is the president of the company, so it's his duty to buy the shares, obviously. So that's how what's the gist of it. That's what we need to look at. Who is the person, what's his relation to the company, how much stocks he acquired or sold, and on which day. So that's how we read a form 4. Also the details of insider buying. Next up we have is form 8K, and what 8K does, it reports of unscheduled material events. Let's see. Okay, so on 2021-03-09 they reported an 8K report, and what did they report in that? Let's see. So how to read an 8K report? Basically it looks like that. There's nothing important in the first page. On the second page there is regulation FD closure. Beginning at 7 a.m. ET on March 9, 2021, Cockpit, the company is making available to the attendees of the virtual H.C. Wainwright Global Conference and the 33rd Annual Roth Conference a presentation by the company's senior management. A copy of the presentation is being furnished as Exhibit 99.1 here too, and is incorporated herein by reference. So basically it's saying that the company has opened up the presentation for the public use that they reviewed on the H.C. Wainwright Global Sciences Corp and the Annual Roth Conference, and they have given a link to this Exhibit 99.1. Here Exhibit 99.1 is listed, and if we click on this it will take us to that presentation. See, so basically you will be redirected to the presentation. Here you can look for catalysts and research more about the company, what are the details. Basically they usually have a slide related to the upcoming catalysts and stuff like that. So sometimes, or you have to go through and find like this: potential for developing first novel therapy, achieve milestones and next steps. Second quarter 2022 file additional patent application, and in the first half 2021 complete proof of concept animal study. So it is safe to say that one of the catalysts for Cockpea is H1 2021. In the first half, like the next 3 months, they will complete the proof of concept animal study. So that is a good catalyst for the company. Here another thing, achieve milestones favorable. So they have listed it for every drug they have in their pipeline, and here like development point achieved, seeking partner for further development. They're seeking partners for further development for their CC31244 group. So that's how basically we find catalysts. That's how we dig deep. That's how we do the due diligence, and that's the gist of it. So that's why SEC filings are so important. It helps you go towards these presentations, find these latest reports and everything, latest news and the ins and outs of the company. It was this, right? The information as this line shall not be deemed filed for purposes. Okay, so yeah, that's how to read an 8K filing. Yeah, we have covered the 4K filing, the 8K filing. Now the SC13D. What is SC13D? Reveals who owns the most shares in the company. Let's see. Yes, 13GA. We are not interested in that. 13DA. Let's see. Excluding reports and reports beneficial ownership. So yeah, 13DA and 13GA. General statement of acquisition of beneficial ownership is statement of acquisition of beneficial by individuals amended. So let's see this 13DA, which was filed on this date 2020 11/19, and the latest one has been filed on the 16th of February 2021. Let's see this. So here we can see that there will be number of people and there will be number of shares they hold and everything about different companies. Let's see this one. Sorry. So name of reporting persons, OPCO Health Incorporated. Sole voting power 2659. Share voting power, sole dispositive power. Then there's Philip Frost MD, his sole voting power and stuff like that. So basically what 13D tells us, it tells us that who have how much ownership in the company. There will be institutes, there will be persons, there will be shareholders, and there will be different persons. So if you read it and you focus on these things, then you would know that who is holding how much position in the company. Not very important, but sometimes important to find what institutions own and what different CEOs own, how much of the percentage does the CEO own of the company and stuff like that. Finally, the 10K and the most important thing, which I would show you in a while, current reports. If you go in the current reports, that's 8K. Let's go to the 10K annual reports, March 17, 2021. So on March 17, 2021, they updated their annual report for the last year depending. So let's open this and let's see how to read this. So as I mentioned, according to this, you can see that we have to read two things: item 1, item 1A and item 6. So let me show you how to read these. You will just go there. Here you can go to the item 1 business, and here you can see that the details of the company is listed, and what technology are they using, and what are the companies they are being partnershiping with, and things like that. Other than that, they have market driven product profiles. In all our programs, our goal is to develop best in class. So basically it gives the idea of what the company is doing, what things they are working on, like research and development update. During the year ended December 31, 2020, the company focused in research and developed efforts in primarily 3 areas. And then here you can see we have several preclinical candidates under development for the treatment of influenza infection, blah blah blah. This candidate binds to a highly conserved PB2, and what's important for us is the last part. If you can see, we are currently conducting additional preclinical IND enabling studies and plan to initiate a phase 1 study in the third quarter of 2021. So that's how we find catalysts, basically reading these things. That we know that in the third quarter they will be filing an IND and they will be initiating a phase 1 clinical study. So that's what why this is important. Reading and going through these things would lead you and make you find new things about the company that is very important for you guys. Next up, this is the item 1. When coming to the item 1A, again click on this risk factors. You will be redirected to it. Just go through it and you would know that maybe the COVID is affected the company's earnings report and the things related to it. So that's what the risk factors cover. What factors that the company is afraid of. Maybe there's a storm coming, and maybe the oil rigs haven't been working properly, which can lead to the oil consumption and oil production slow. So those type of things is listed in the risk factors, and what the company is expecting. Like, as the FDA continues to focus its efforts on the pandemic, there may be material delays in our IND application for influenza A phase 1 study. So that's a risk. Like, the FDA continues to focus its efforts on the pandemic. That's why there may be IND application delays. So that's how, say, basically in the above paragraph they were saying that they are going to file an IND application in the third quarter, and then they are saying that there's a risk factor because the FDA continues the efforts on the pandemic, controlling it and stuff like that. Next up, and the most important thing, basically what everyone needs to know, is the financial data. What's the financial data? Basically the company's details, right? Like, what is the liquidity and capital resources, how much cash they are holding, what are the company assets, how much debt they are in, and stuff like that. I don't read financial data a lot from the 10K. I used to just go to yahoofinance.com, and there I go to the earnings section and I look for the statistics. Yeah, that gives me the gist of it, that how the company is doing and what are the, see, if you can see fiscal year ends and everything is listed very structurally. We can see the revenue company is making is 2.01 million. TTM means so revenue is 2.01 million. How much total cash at the moment, most recent quarter, is 33.01 million. However, the debt is 596,000 only. So if that's a good thing, right? The company have the enough cash to pay their debts and their equity, and even then they will be able to survive because they have the cash. So that's a good thing for the company. That's all I see in the earnings report and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's all about the SEC filings and how to read them. As the most important one is reading a 10K, because that's where all the hidden things about the company is. That's where you can find catalysts and the ins and outs and the small little details of the company. So I hope you like the video and everything is clear. If you have any questions, you can text me and give me an inbox, give me a message over there. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys.